Hi, what's up, everybody? This is Will from thebusinesspunk.com, and I wanted to do a video here about five, arguably six, because one of them you might not want to count. Some people won't count it, but five business niches, okay, that are unsaturated. Um, and in some cases, completely untapped. Now, I want to preface this by saying that a lot of the time, I think when people say something's saturated, like a niche is saturated, sometimes that's true. But sometimes, like, I'll hear about people talking about, like, oh, that niche is saturated. I'll be like, well, I made money on it. It's saturated? Is it? I don't know. So, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. If somebody says, oh, well, that's over. Look at Google Trends. That's it's one of the biggest search engines. You can find out what's getting big and what's not. I have 5 year, well, 6 year if you count the sixth one. Okay, the first one, uh, e-juice and just that whole market. Vaporizers like this one. I taped it so it looks kind of shitty. I don't really care. I love it. And they look like this. They look like the e-juice looks like this one's Quaffles. Uh, it's like 14 bucks. That's about average. It's more or less about average. They come in this size. They come in different sizes. There's a whole culture behind that, and I want to make this video a little bit shorter than. I'm not going to make an hour long video, so I'm not going to get into every little fucking detail, but there's, I mean, like, I remember on the West Coast, man, like, everyone in Washington State, like, a year and a half ago, like, everyone, like, not everyone, but a ton of people were using them, like, these vape things, these fucking, and they're getting better. They're getting better and better. They're getting technologically better and better. And, yeah, it's coming out here to Michigan. I'm in Michigan now. It's they're making their way here. I mean, people are starting to use them now here too. Some people have been using them, but more and more and more. They're way better than cigarettes, as far as, like, I mean, health wise. I mean, they're clearly way better than. I mean, like, there's propaganda against them. A good amount of that is the cigarette companies doing their propaganda campaigns against that shit. Some cigarette companies are even investing in them because they're, the market share. Cigarette companies are losing market share. Anyway, so that's one thing. I'm not going to get into that too much because I want to get into a few others. The second one is nootropics, which that's something that some people will say is saturated. It's fucking not. It's like aniracetam, piracetam, phenylpiracetam, the cognitive enhancing drugs. There's a wide range of them. They're big in Silicon Valley. They're starting to get big all over the place. You can get them on the internet. You can get them, yeah, mostly on the internet. I think that's pretty much it. Maybe there's some store somewhere that sells them. Probably, I'm sure there is, but internet. Aniracetam, I think, was developed by. I think that's the one that was developed by Russians. Some of them were developed by Russians, and a lot of these were developed like decades ago. I think aniracetam was the one they developed to chill people the fuck out, in case, for Russian astronauts, in case they get space madness. Some of them pump you up, some of them chill you the fuck out. And speaking of nootropics, the ones that pump you up, big in the weightlifting community. Some of them, kettlebells. Now, I should have brought my kettlebell. I have like a 20 pounder. It's not like, crazy, but you get a full body workout, and that's great. And that's a Russian invention too, actually. It's it's a great little thing. It's a great thing. I like it. It's a good little exercise tool there. Um, I have look up spoiled rich Chinese kids, and then I looked up the word Fuerdai, and do I got time here? I got okay. Fuerdai. That's the way they spell it in America, anyway. I don't. Anyway, it's like second generation spoiled rich kids that rich parents. The stereotype. Maybe not all of them are bad. There might be some great kids who are involved in that, but there are some of them who are like little shits, and they spend their money crazy. You look at pictures, man. There's a picture that spread around the world, like a girl burning money, just burning money. Who cares? I got so much money. Who cares? It's just like, if you can tap into that market, man. If you can sell a luxury item, like I heard Pabst Blue Ribbon. I don't know if this applies to the Fuerte. I'm sure there are some that buy this shit. But on the Cracked podcast that I listened to, they said that Pabst Blue Ribbon, which is kind of a shitty beer, it goes for like a glass bottle of it. I think goes for like $44 because to them that's a luxury item. It's a luxury item. I don't know. It's just so maybe the Fuerte, they might be some of the people buying it. I don't know, but I mean, if you can tap into that market, you can make some money. RCs, okay. Research chemicals, ClearNet research chemicals, not for human consumption, not for animal consumption, not in vitro. I'm talking about like, selling chemicals. It's really iffy because like, there's a lot of money to be made, but it's like if you get big enough and you gain enough attention, you might get shut down. You might get raided. It's kind of like one similarity or one, and I don't know. I guess I would liken it to, in a way, to how like there are illegal marijuana shops, and yet SWAT teams show up and take all their shit, and I would liken it to that. I mean, obviously it's a different thing, but you could be doing everything legal. If you mention consumption at all, they could use that against you because it's not for consumption. It's not for human consumption. There's atizolam, there's clonazepam, there's big one. Look at Google Trends. Search for atizolam, Etizolam, and man, it's a benzo. I guess it's sort of like a Xanax sort of thing, but it's different. But it's not scheduled. Although it is illegal in a few states in the deep south, mostly in the deep south, like less than a dozen states. But it's something to keep. If you're gonna get involved in all that, I'm not talking deep web. I'm not talking like selling fucking Xanax on the deep web. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about ClearNet. So that's that. How much time I got here? Okay. The last one, a lingerie espresso. Now in Washington, like, okay, look, Starbucks came from Washington State. Now there's a Starbucks next to a Starbucks next to a Starbucks. Lingerie espresso stands. That could travel. I mean, like, in some states they're starting to get a few of them. They're everywhere in at least Western Washington, where I was. that could be a business. You could run that business potentially. I mean, some places won't like it. You know, you got to keep track of the market. Who would like it? What kind of places would like that kind of thing? What wouldn't? But that's something to keep track of. Or, I mean, that's something to think about potentially. If you don't like the kettlebell idea, if that doesn't count as one, then the lingerie espresso one. Just like a shack, a drive-through shack, and the girls are wearing lingerie. You can look it up, bikini baristas. Anyway, those are 5, arguably 6 niches, business niches. So that's Will. I mean, I'm Will. Sorry. Thebusinesspunk.com. Please subscribe. And remember, there are always alternatives. Peace.